This is Chris report, and he assured me that since Simonstown and Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa.
Live from New York, it's Saturday Night. No, it's not Saturday Night Live. Sorry, folks. Punked you. It's not live from New York. It's not Saturday Night Live. Who watches that woke garbage anymore? Welcome back to the program live from Central Pennsylvania. It's the Colonel. Once again, Night Owls. A brief Night Owls here, folks, to finish off the news that we talked about earlier. Didn't get a chance to finish. Such a busy day. So much going on. My meerkat looks like he's been drinking marula. Look at that. Amarula. He's been back there. Look, my meerkat has been drinking Amarula. Dude looks drunk. My meerkat looks like Joe Biden, man. Hey, Joe, what's going on? He does bear a strong resemblance to Peanut the squirrel. Better hide my meerkat from the authorities. Don't want them to kill my meerkat. Hey, buddy. How you doing there, buddy? Yeah. Live from Harrisburg, or so you say. Never said I was in Harrisburg. I live near Harrisburg. Yes, I live near Harrisburg. Hey, buddy. My meerkat joined me up here. Yeah, it's the Meerkat Broadcast. There you go, folks. There we go. We'll name it's the Meerkat Broadcast. Let's see how many people notice that. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, beware of the Federal Elections Commission. Why the FEC? What's going on? You mean the FCC? Nobody drinks Amarula. It puts it on the ice cream when it's told. You sound like Silence of the Lambs. It puts it on the ice cream when it's told. Oh, my goodness. Amarula. Oh, some good stuff there. What do you think there, Meerkat? What do you say? The meerkats, they are beautiful. I love. I should put a video up of the election. I got to find something with meerkats. Who won the election? We go to the meerkat. Early voting in Pennsylvania doesn't look good. In what way, Arctic? How so? How so? How do you mean? Yeah, they're the best. They are great watchdogs. I'll give you that. All right, let's get back. We are back. Cool. The new Tom McDonald song. That's right, folks. All right. Thanks for tuning back in. A rejuvenated railway in Angola is changing the scene. That's right. And this isn't financed by the Bricks and Roads Initiative. No, the Belt and Road Initiative. No, I said bricks. I meant Belt and Road Initiative. This is financed by none other than those evil white people from America. Oh, once again, they're at it, folks. Those evil white people doing it all over again. Here we go. Let's talk about this. CNN reports that in late August, a container vessel sailed out of Angola's port of Lobito, carrying a railway operator, Lobito Atlantic Railway's first shipment of copper from the Democratic Republic of Congo to the United States. It was a milestone moment for the Lobito Corridor, an initiative backed by U.S. and Europe that aims to create an efficient transport link from Africa's mineral-rich interior to the port on its west coast. It took the copper just 6 days to travel from Kolwezi in the DRC, home of the world's largest copper and cobalt reserves, across more than 1,300 kilometers to the rail lines. Wow. 30 days faster than a road journey. There you go. Wow. Lobito Atlantic Railway, a consortium of firms that took over operations of the railway in January, says they're investing $250 million to improve the rail lines and telecommunications infrastructure in Angola and add 1,500 wagons to its rail fleet. There you go. In recent decades, China's Belt and Road Initiative has bankrolled railways, highways, communication infrastructure, ports, and mines across the developing world. That includes loans to refurbish the 100-year-old Benguela Railway in Angola, which was badly damaged during the 27-year civil war. China has also invested heavily in the DRC. That hasn't gone unnoticed in Washington. In 2022, the U.S. and its G7 allies formally launched the Partnership for Global Infrastructure Investment, or PGI, which is aiming to mobilize $600 billion in global infrastructure funding by 2027 to act as an alternative to the Bricks and Road Initiative. The difference is that we don't own the infrastructure. The Chi-Coms own that infrastructure, so they do what they want with it. So we are going to fail big time. Many persons tried to get copper from the Congo out, and many have failed. Well, they have succeeded this time. Arctic says 990,000 Democrats, 561,000 Republicans. Where are you getting that from, Arctic? And you think that's bad? That's actually good. That's a huge gap closer by the Republicans. Absolutely. Absolutely. And early voting doesn't matter. It's the final vote that matters. Epic stream with Vane. Shame you pretty much upstaged the guy. He's a good guy. Supporting Harris. Sorry, not a citizen, so it doesn't matter anyway. Well, Jonathan, I don't know why you would support Harris. That's crazy. You're seeing it on X and elsewhere. Okay, well, the Pennsylvania Department of Election or Secretary of State is not reporting that information, so I'll treat it as suspect for now. And again, that's actually a good sign. Behind by just 400,000, that's very good. That's very good. So that means that 990,000, if that's true, 1.4, 1.5 million, that's actually not true. That can't be possibly true. The Pennsylvania's already reported that 1.7 million people had. Let me see if I still have that image. This was as of yesterday. 1.7 million votes have been in. So there's no way that 1.5 million is the figure. That doesn't make any sense. Where the hell is this at? Early voting. Did I lose it? Come on. Where are you hiding at? Where are you hiding at? Shoot. Let me try that. Let me find this really quick. EARY voting. Come on. That's not what I want. It's supposed to be on Google. I need that map again. There it is. Early voting Washington Post. Let's pull it up and see what they say the figures are now. Early voting turnout by state. As high as 47%. What was that? Okay. All or nothing election, folks. It's all or nothing. Yep. Let's go over here and get this over here. Bring it up. And early voting turnout as high as nearly 47% of the 2020. So it's only half of the 2020 electorate. Wow. What's this? Yeah, election day is morphed into election. 74 million people have already cast their ballots. That's 47% of the total ballots cast in 2020. 4 million voters in Georgia, or 80% of the total who voted in 2020. In battleground states of Arizona and North Carolina, roughly half eligible voters have already shown up. In 3 states, Connecticut, Delaware, and South Carolina, they've surpassed the 2020 levels. It suggests that a long-term trend that was accelerated by the pandemic has led to a change in voting habits, which is unfortunate. People should not be voting like that. So, a Cincinnati voter brought his daughter along to the polls, and you can do that. You can bring a child in most states to the polls. You can do it in Pennsylvania. So, a Cincinnati voter brought his daughter along to cast his ballot at the Hamilton County Board of Elections on Saturday. She brought her dolls to the polls and stuck Ohio voted stickers on them. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Is the child a child of color? Because her dolls are child of color. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. Let's take a look at the early voting that you're talking about. Okay, here we go. So Pennsylvania had 2.7 million mail-in and early voters in 2020. That's the race we're comparing to, not 2022. 2.7 million. As of last night at 8:30 in the evening, that's last night because that's when the results are turned in. This is what the Washington Post is showing. Pennsylvania has 1.8 million. Folks, that's 900,000 votes less than 2020. Only 64% of what happened in 2020. So how is that bad? That's good if Democrats are the majority of people who vote. 500,000 Republicans turning out, that's not pretty bad, not too bad. So Arctic says 330,000 independents. So there you go. That's great. So if 330,000 of that figure you're putting up there, okay, you're adding that to it. Okay, well, you didn't give me that. You didn't give that information. I thought it was, okay, yeah, so that would account for it. Yep. Stumbles without teleprompter. You're right. She sure does. I'm also making videos of how illegally breeding mice in my barn and the police ignore me. Light rain. Stop spreading Lassa fever. Anyway, so let's take a look at the early voting so far. We got states over 100% of the 2020 total. South Carolina currently at 117%. Delaware at 136%, Connecticut at 116%, Michigan at 90.1%, Texas at 91%, Louisiana at 98%, North Carolina at 95%, Georgia at 99%, Tennessee at 96%, Florida at 85%. Yep. Anyway, so early voting, there you have it. So those are not discouraging numbers. If the independents break evenly, so 330,000 means 165,000 for Trump. Add that to the 561, assuming all the Republicans voted for Trump, which isn't always the case. That puts Republicans at over 700,000 mail-in ballots. Not bad, not bad. Well, a case of document leaks is roiling Israel over the information shared illicitly. An individual with connections to Prime Minister Netanyahu's office is being investigated. Wow. Israeli authorities investigating a civilian who has been working over the past year in the office of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and is suspected of illegally obtaining and leaking classified documents to the news media. The case has roiled Israel, where critics have accused Netanyahu of torpedoing a deal to return hostages and prolonging the war in Gaza for political reasons. Key members of his governing coalition had threatened to pull out if he made concessions to Hamas. Well, things are not looking good there for Bibi's government. Problems. Let's get on to the news. U.S. airline industry is intentionally not flying directly to Israel. Is this anti-Semitism or is it prudent aviation? U.S. airline industry implementing effective boycott of Israel by suspending direct flights, according to Democratic representative. American, Delta, and United are no longer flying direct to Israel, but the Federal Aviation Administration has not told them that they can't. U.S. airline industry is implementing what a Democratic member of Congress calls an effective boycott of Israel by suspending all direct flights in the wake of the October 7th terrorist attacks. More than a year after the Hamas attacks, as the war between Israel and Iran-backed terrorist groups in the region continues, no major U.S. airlines are flying directly from the United States to Israel. Travelers departing the United States can only catch a direct flight via El Al. Meanwhile, airlines in Arab countries like the United Emirates are still flying there. Representative Richie Torres, Democrat of New York, described this as an effective boycott in a letter to the CEOs. My understanding is that in order to travel to Israel, your only option is El Al, which is gouging prices. So the lack of availability of air travel from U.S. airlines has led to price gouging and has made air travel to Israel far less accessible and affordable to Americans, which is fundamentally unfair. Wow. So in 2014, the FAA suspended flights to Israel, but that is not the case this time. The American airliners have done far more damage to the Israeli economy than the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement against Israel could ever dream of doing, and I worry without a security assessment from the FAA, without an objective process, a dangerous precedent has been set on the politicization of air travel, for the weaponization of air travel as a means of boycotting Israel, and it's a powerful tool for boycott. In what universe and by what logic is it too dangerous for American Airlines and United and Delta to travel to Israel, but it's safe for the United Arab Emirates to do so? Like just something is rotten in the state of the American aviation industry. Oh, it is. American aviation is very rotten. Look at the state of Boeing. This is insane. These are evil anti-Semite carriers in their behavior. We already know the behavior of United Airlines, which fired its pilots for not getting the poisonous jab. We already saw Delta during the COVID pandemic. Delta blocked people from being on their flights because they weren't wearing masks and banned them forever. These are evil airlines that deserve a PK for their conduct. Changing gear, and El Al flies daily to Newark. Yes, I know that, Arctic. They're the only airline, and none of the American ones are doing it anymore. Yeah, Arctic says we learned from 2020. Don't call it until January. Turning our attention to Indonesia's Mount Lewatobi, Laki-Laki volcano erupts, killing 10 people. Oof. Smoke billowing out of Mount Lewatobi, Laki-Laki. At least 10 people died after Mount Lewatobi, Laki-Laki. I just like saying that. Mount Lewatobi, Laki-Laki. That sounds like, I don't know, some dish. In eastern Indonesia, erupted midnight on Sunday, spewing explosive plumes of lava and forcing authorities to evacuate several nearby villages. It's located on Flores Island. Erupted on Sunday at 11:57 midnight, belching a fiery red column of lava, volcanic ash, and blazing rocks. After the eruption, there was a power outage, and then it was raining and big lightning, which caused panic among residents. A 4-mile radius from the crater must be cleared. Ooh. Mother Earth. The hubris of human beings think we can control this. Harris's longtime friend of P. Diddy. Pro-European Union candidate has won the Moldova runoff, despite fears of Russian influence. Maya Sandu led with 55% of the vote against Alexandra Stoyanoglu, a former prosecutor general backed by the pro-Russian Party of Socialists. But she won. Moldova's pro-Western president Maya Sandu secured a second term in office Sunday, a major boost to her mission to make her tiny country a European Union member. 99% of the votes counted. She had a 55% of the vote for her. Congratulations to Moldova's returning president. Well, folks, Spain's flood infrastructure nightmare continues as heavy rain hits Barcelona and Valencia tries to dig out. The current storms in eastern Spain that led to massive flooding last week and killed at least 217 people, almost all of them in Valencia region, dumped rain further north on Barcelona, prompting authorities to suspend commuter rail services and reroute flights as some highways were inundated. Wow, the rains had forced air traffic controllers to change the course of 15 flights operating at Barcelona's airport, located in the southern flank of the city. Here's a view of the destruction in the Valencia region after the floods. Oh, my goodness. Anger is boiling over at King Felipe. Why? He's not running the country. The crowd shouted, "Get out," and "killers" among the insults as the monarch and others officials tried to talk to residents. Why are you calling him killers? What did he have to do? He doesn't run the country. Take your anger out on the socialists that run the country, not on King Felipe, you morons. Kemi Badenoch, the new firebrand right-winger of Nigerian origin, leader of the Conservative Party. Huge dental gap going on there. She won 57% of the Conservative members' votes to beat Robert Jenrick and is expected to have her top team in place by Tuesday. Former business secretary became official leader of the opposition after securing the backing of her fellow MPs as well as Tory party members. She becomes the first black woman elected to lead a major British political party and the fourth woman to lead the Conservative Party following Margaret Thatcher, Theresa May, who, Liz Truss, who, we'll see if she can stand up to good old Maggie. I doubt she can carry Maggie's. She is opposed to gender ideology. Well, that's a good start for her. Second trial in the beheading and murder of a teacher in France by jihadist racist bigots. 8 more people are facing charges after the 2020 murder of the teacher Samuel Paty, who has displayed caricatures of Muhammad as an illustration of free speech. 8 people went on trial on Monday in connection with the murder. The history teacher whose beheading by an Islamist terrorist in 2020 shocked France and put the nation on edge. Mr. Paty was stabbed and decapitated in October 2020 near his school northwest of Paris by Abdullah Anzorov, an 18-year-old Russian of Chechen descent, angered by the teacher's display of caricatures of the Prophet Muhammad to illustrate free speech in a civics class. Mr. Anzorov, who was shot and killed by the police shortly after the violent assault, had learned about Mr. Paty through an online smear campaign. Most of the defendants in the trial that began on Monday are accused of driving that campaign. The death penalty will not be good enough for them. Well, live coverage of the election as we count down to the final hours of Decision 2024. I will be broadcasting live on @RealChrisWyatt. Honey Pretorius has just subscribed, I suspect, watching one of my videos. Thank you, Honey Pretorius, for your subscription. Really appreciate it. As we count down to Election 2024, Decision 2024, which I will carry the results analysis of live late Tuesday evening, early Wednesday morning for South Africans on @RealChrisWyatt. That video is already set up. You can join me over there. All right. Trump and Harris make their final blitz in swing states. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are targeting battleground states as more than 78 million Americans have already cast their vote. Harris holds a 4-point lead over Trump in one of the final polls, but that's just one. He has the lead in the average of the polls. Yep. Former Representative Liz Cheney pushed back against comments made by Trump, suggesting she's put in line of fire. Obviously, the intimidation won't work. Yeah, we don't care, Liz Cheney. And more than 78 million people voted early, including 17.9 million in the battleground states. Lady Gaga will join Harris at her final rally in Philadelphia. J.D. Vance and Trump's running mate called Harris trash, and she is. Well said. How long will it take to know who won the presidential race? Your guess is as good as mine. It depends on Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and the other battleground states. And Pennsylvania has been a problem in the past. Look, it's Michelle Maybell, Big Mike Obama. Said Trump advisors talked him out of attacking Michelle. Well, good idea. He should have not attacked Kamala Harris. Let everyone else do it. Here is the website, folks. If you'd like to follow the returns in the state of Pennsylvania, I want to share this with you. So since Pennsylvania is arguably the most important state in this race, this is where you can go to check the results as they come in. They will not be posted before 7 p.m. That's for sure. Whoops, that is not what I wanted. What happened there? I was trying to show this. Okay, there we go. All right. Garrett's message was obliterated there. Okay. It's raining cats and dogs in KZN. It came from Department of Health. What? The party can start now because Charles is here. Okay. FAA is not responsible for security assessments. TSA for domestic flights. Huh? Let me go back to that story since you're mentioning that and read what was actually said in the story. Okay. In 2014, the Federal Aviation Administration directed all U.S. carriers to suspend flights to Israel due to safety concerns. So it isn't a question whether they do the assessment. They took the action. The FAA has that authority. So I'm not sure what the issue is you're having there, Arctic. The FAA has the authority to shut down air flights. Peanut is stuffed. Shame on you, Chris. He ain't moving anymore. Yeah, my meerkat Peanut is just chilling out, man. He is stuffed. Without notice to aviators, messages, do individual companies analyze the political system or just throw aircraft crews and passengers wherever? Well, according to Arctic, individual companies do it. The FAA has no authority over them. That's a bit of a surprise to me. I know that the notice to airmen, the NOTAMs, is something that pilots look at. But we saw what happened with the stupidity of a Malaysian airliner flying over Ukraine back in the day. What the hell's going on here? Fox, I'm not going to listen to that. Interrupted me there. Anyway, so this is the Pennsylvania website. And you can see President of the United States has 4 people on the ballot: Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, Chase Oliver for the Libertarian Party, and Jill Stein for the Green Party. United States Senator, there are 5 people on the ballot: Robert Casey, the guy we forget is even our senator until every 6 years when he runs; Dave McCormick, Republican; John Thomas, Libertarian; Laila Hazu, Green Party; and Marty Selker from the Constitutional Party, I think that is. Attorney General, there are 6 candidates, including Dave Sunday, the Republican. Auditor General Malcolm Kenyatta, that guy's still around. Gee, many crickets. State Treasurer, Stacey Garrity for the Republicans. She's a bit of a full of herself person, but she'll get my vote, despite the fact she's full of herself. So there's where you find out. That's the link. Save that bookmark. You can check that. You'll be able to check it before I do, folks. You'll be able to check it before I do. In fact, I'm going to send myself that link right now so I remember it. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. I've got it now. All right. So that's where you can go to check out the election results tomorrow. Yeah. Don't expect that until 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if they can post results before 7 p.m. I don't think they can or before 8 p.m. They have to wait until the polls close. So Harris won't say how she voted for a popular bill in California to end the criminal theft that she allowed. Harris won't say how she voted in California measure that would reverse criminal justice reforms. They're not reforms. It's undermining criminal justice. Vice President Kamala Harris on Sunday declined to say how she voted on a key ballot measure in her home state of California that would reverse criminal justice reforms in recent years. No, they're not criminal justice reforms. JVS Tuning, thank you for your subscription. I appreciate that. I'm not going to talk about the vote on that because, honestly, it's the Sunday before the election. I don't intend to create an endorsement one way or another way. What an idiot. Who listens to this clown? She is a total clown. A federal judge has ruled Iowa officials can challenge ballots of potential non-citizens. The Iowa Secretary of State has hailed the court's ruling as a win for Iowa's election integrity. In another victory for Republicans not mentioned by any mainstream media, this is from the Epoch Times, a federal judge ruled on Sunday that Iowa election officials may continue to follow Secretary of State Paul Pate's directive to challenge the ballots of 2,176 registered voters who have been identified as potential non-citizens. The ruling came as a recent Des Moines Register Mediacom Iowa poll forecast Vice President Harris leading in Iowa by 3 points. Well, that's utter nonsense. The Emerson poll has Trump winning by 10 points. It's somewhere in the middle. JP Dreckmeyer's back. Andre says, do you think Biden's move to ship B-52s to Israel is part of a voting tactic? I didn't see that. That's news I haven't seen. No, it's too late. NOTAMs don't tell us not to land in North Korea, but it's on the no land and overfly list we have on board. So you never get a notice to aviators warning you about potential threats. You don't get those? I spent a lot of time with aviators in the military. That seems strange. Thank goodness we have moved to from the last place. Expecting, okay, I'm glad you moved. Kurtz, if you're in the U.S., vote for Big Mike. Yeah. Okay, peanut is stuffed. Yep, already covered that. Hey, Robert Zede, welcome back. Sounds like your company takes things seriously. It's possible that tomorrow the winner can be announced. Yeah, it is possible, but Trump's got to run away with it. Kamala Harris is not going to run away with it. If Trump runs away with it electorally, then we'll know the results tomorrow. But then the lawsuits start from the election-denying Democrats right after that. So Iowa, major victory to challenge these people and not covered by the media. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 10 o'clock this morning, a vile, repulsive, slimy, self-indulgent, rich, arrogant asshat known as Robert De Niro, came to Pennsylvania to interfere in our elections. I don't want his slimy ass in my state. Governor Josh Shapiro joined actor Robert De Niro and Martin Sheen in a Get Out the Vote rally in Harrisburg. We don't want either one of them. It took place at 10 a.m. on 1500 North 2nd Street, according to Demon Rat Party spokesman. De Niro was spotted on Sunday at several Philadelphia Eagles tailgate parties before Lincoln Field financial game. Sam Waterston, what's he doing here? Is he coming too? Harris will visit Allentown this afternoon, then head to Pittsburgh and Philadelphia later today. Wow. Trump has a campaign stop at Santander Arena in Reading. I've been there, to watch the Reading Royals. Yep. Anyway, I didn't know. So what's Sam Waterston doing? He's at a press junket. Anyway, I don't need De Niro or Martin Sheen in my state. Piss off. We don't give a crap about you arrogant, washed-up actors. Well, the New York Times says that in Pennsylvania, Republicans are stressing optimism while Democrats are just stressing. The biggest battleground, the presidential campaign, remains tied on the eve of Election Day, with both Trump and Harris campaigns saying they have the advantage. So, in part of northern York County, Pennsylvania, folks, I live in northern York County, Pennsylvania, and we made the New York Times today, where rural farmland bangs into new suburban construction, which we don't want. Busloads of demon rat canvassers on Saturday were preparing to knock on doors in a region where not long ago their voters scarcely existed. And they still scarcely exist. Don't lie to people, New York Times. Among the fired up faithful, the watchword for Vice President Kamala Harris' presidential ambitions was hope. Hope is not a planning factor. As tight as the race is, as ugly as it's gotten, I do have hope, says Stephanie Kramer, a 53-year-old York County native and former teacher. Of course, a former teacher, so she's a demon rat. 34 miles to the north at a tailgate party at the back of Aruga's Grill House near Hershey, where I've also had dinner. Representative Scott Perry, a close ally of Trump, was more than hopeful about the president's chances, especially in the biggest, most important swing state this election. The vice president's campaign is in free fall, he pronounced. They're abandoning states like Arizona and Nevada. They're trying to shore up whatever is left of this blue wall, but it's going to crumble in Pennsylvania Tuesday night. 100% agree with Scott Perry. So, yeah. You can canvass all you want here, Democrats. You ain't going to win it. Well, whoever wins this Pennsylvania county is expected to win the White House, according to an analyst with the Epic Times. In 2020, Erie County, Pennsylvania voted for Joe Biden by 1%, with independents being the determining factor. Thousands turned out at the Bayfront Convention Center on September 20th to hear former President Trump speak. Hundreds more gathered outside the convention center to watch his speech on a jumbo display. There's a reason for that. Erie County, the city of Erie, is a strong indicator of who won the presidency. Since 1980, with the exception of 1988, the county has backed the statewide winner of presidential races every single time. Got it wrong in 88. They didn't back Bush. North Carolina sees record turnout. 4.2 million ballots cast in early voting. Wow. Wow. North Carolina has already surpassed its early voting record set in 2020, but the State Board of Elections announced Sunday that more than 4.2 million voters cast ballots in early post-person voting sites. Now, that compares with 1.8 million or 1.7 million in Pennsylvania, a larger state than North Carolina, and they have over twice as many early ballots. So, yeah, I think we're doing well here. Trump escalates false claims of fraud, setting the stage to cry foul if he loses, says the Washington Post. And it's all BS. The former president's allies have produced no evidence of widespread voter fraud or attempts to rig this election, the previous one which he lost to Joe Biden. And they lie about what Trump says here. Unbelievable. Wow. Unbelievable. So in recent days, Trump has focused his allegations of voter fraud in Pennsylvania, state that nonpartisan election experts see as a near must-win for both him and Harris. According to the Post's polling, Harris is leading the state by less than a point, which is a lie. Trump is leading by 0.3 of a point. During a rally in Allentown, Trump claimed they've already started cheating in Lancaster. Pennsylvania's cheating, getting caught at large-scale levels rarely seen before. Report cheating to authorities, law enforcement must act now. Okay, so why did he say that? Well, Democratic officials and voting rights advocates vehemently dispute Trump's claims, and of course, they're liars. Lancaster County election officials recently said that's Heather Adams. You can mention her by name, the Washington Post, if you aren't so lazy. The district attorney said that they identified 2,500 voter registration applications potentially fraudulent and that local law enforcement was investigating. Then the Washington Post says Trump falsely claimed that there were ballots filled out with the same pen. Ballots were not open in Pennsylvania until Election Day. Well, that's not what Trump said. The Washington Post lies. Trump reported that Lancaster County officials said 2,600 voter registrations had fraudulent in there, the majority of them. That's what Trump said. And that is, in fact, the case. Lancaster County District Attorney Heather Adams, over a week ago, said that 2,500, not 2,600, you're going to quibble over that 100, 2,500 ballots turned in at the deadline on the Friday, the deadline for voter registration of the 2,500. 60% were fraudulent. They sent detectives out and they confirmed this. So the Washington Post is lying about Donald Trump again. This is unbelievable. But they get away with it. So the New York Times runs with a story ignoring all the stuff Democrats are doing and all the election irregularities taking place right now. Not fraud, but irregularities. They're ignoring that and saying on Telegram, a violent preview of what may unfold on Election Day and after. Yeah, right-wing groups using Telegram to organize real-world actions are urging followers to watch the polls and stand up for their rights in a harbinger of potential chaos. Groups backing former President Donald Trump recently sent messages to organize poll watchers to be ready to dispute votes in Democratic areas. Some posted images of armed men standing up for their rights to recuse. Oh, this is nonsense. This is just garbage being spewed by these clowns because they've got nothing else to report and they're trying to set the stage for their election denial after Trump wins. Pennsylvania County Built America may decide the next president. They love PA. Everyone loves PA right now. The county's a microcosm of the rest of the Keystone State and the largest of the U.S. battlegrounds. Nestled in the heart of eastern Pennsylvania is one of two state counties that has been a bellwether in the last 4 presidential elections and may decide who controls the White House. Northampton County, home of former Bethlehem Steel Plant, once the world's largest producer of steel, is one of 2 once blue counties in the Keystone State, along with Erie, that then candidate Donald Trump flipped in 2016 before flipping back in 2020. So, will Northampton County go for Trump? Trump is using election lies to lay the groundwork for challenging 2024 election results if he loses, says the Associated Press. And rally after rally urges supporters to deliver a victory too big to rig. Exactly. He should do it too big to rig. Win it overwhelmingly. That way they can't lie. 4 years after the Stop the Steal, an organized army energized online. Boy, they are just demonic in this obsession with painting a false picture. A fringe group that tried to subvert Donald Trump's loss has spent years preparing to contest the 2024 vote. And this time, Elon Musk is on their side. Brandon Matlock, a coordinator for a group boosting former President Trump election effort, was camped outside election office in Northampton County when he posted a video Tuesday on the social media network X asking his 3,000 followers for help identifying a very suspect man he'd just seen dropping off an insane amount of ballots. The video went viral. Now, he made no false claims. He just asked, here's the Twitter post, and he asked, why is this guy delivering these ballots? Well, the Washington Post claims that it's a postal worker. Okay, fine. Why is a postal worker standing in line delivering ballots instead of in the back door delivering ballots where postal workers come in? But okay, let's accept it's a postal worker. The guy never made any false claims here. Never made any false claims. Also, you are writing a New York Times or Washington Post. Hey, Courtney, that's the first super chat. Thank you. You are writing a Washington Post editor article with 3 of your so-called journalists, Drew Harwell, Kat Zaruski, and Naomi Nix. You're devoting all this time and energy, posting this at 6 o'clock in the morning, the day before the election. You're putting this energy in, claiming right-wing groups. The guy has 3,000 frickin' followers on Twitter. Are you serious? 3,000 followers. There's no influence there, you clowns. Iowa's top court upholds ballot removal of third-party candidates. Another victory for the Republicans. The candidates had been removed by a state panel. An Iowa panel correctly removed 3 Libertarian candidates from the 2024 ballots because they did not follow the alternative procedure via which they chose to qualify. The Supreme Court ruled on September 11th. So that's from September. That story was never reported. I'm bringing you a story from September that was never reported by the media. There you go. Another victory for Republicans. Longtime music producer and man who claimed it, he knocked boots and stuck his schlong in Ivanka Trump. Quincy Jones, the man who loved white women. All he ever hooked up with was white women. Quincy Jones, music titan, dies at the age of 91. I had no idea that Quincy Jones was 91. Wow. Yes, Courtney, that's correct. Postal workers are not authorized to drop off ballots like that, so the gentleman's question is valid and correct. And the Washington Post turns it into a right-wing conspiracy to spread fake news, when in fact what he did, thank you, a U.S. postal worker has just confirmed that what he did is not legitimate. It's not allowed. So it's an election irregularity. If in fact it's a postal worker, you cannot do that. And why is a postal worker harvesting ballots? That is the role of an election worker at the election board, not of the postal worker. The job of the postal worker is to go to the mailboxes, unlock the mailbox, collect the mail, and bring it back in a bag, secure. That's the job of a postal worker. Am I getting something wrong, Courtney? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Watch all of this stuff be suppressed after Donald Trump wins the election. If you lose, it'll definitely be suppressed. Too legit to quit. So Quincy Jones has passed away. The multi-talented musician titan whose vast legacy ranged from producing Michael Jackson's Thriller to writing prize-winning film and television scores and collaborating with Frank Sinatra, Ray Charles, and hundreds of other artists has died at the age of 91. His publicist, Arnold Robinson, said he died Sunday night in his home in Bel Air, surrounded by his family. He was to have received an honorary Academy Award later this month. I assume his daughter will accept it. Tonight, with full but broken hearts, we must share the news. Our father and brother, Quincy Jones, passing, said the family. And all this incredible loss for our family, celebrated a great life they lived, and we know there will never be another like him. He rose from running with gangs in Southside Chicago to the very heights of the show business, becoming one of the first black executives to thrive in Hollywood, amassing an extraordinary music catalog that included some of the richest moments in American rhythm and song. It was unlikely to find a music lover who did not own at least one record with his name on it. Yep, he kept company with a lot of people. Lionel Richie, who co-wrote We Are the World, was among the featured singers who would call Jones the master orchestrator. Yep, in a career in which records were still played on platters, turning at 78 revolutions per minute, top honors likely go to his productions with Jackson's Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad albums. Yep, Thriller sold more than 20 million copies in 1983 alone and has contended for the Eagles' greatest hits among the best-selling album of all time. There's Quincy Jones. Look at that. Grammy Awards in 1991. Whew, man, he hauled in a lot. The list of his honors and awards fills 18 pages in his 2001 autobiography, Q, including 27 Grammys at the time. Now he has 28. An Honorary Academy Award, now 2, and an Emmy for Roots. He also received France's Légion d'Honneur, the Rudolph Valentino Award from Italy, and the Kennedy Center tribute for his contribution to American culture. Wow. Quincy Jones. Hooked on work and play. Wow. So there he is. Quincy Jones. His daughter, Rashida Jones, is an actress. Well known. Well known. There you go, folks. That's the news I couldn't get to earlier. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate people being here. 67 currently here. Say hello to Peanut, my squirrel meerkat. Ready for the big day. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble, folks. That's right. The election is hours away. I leave here after this broadcast to go fill up petrol in my car, pick up water, and prep for this evening. This evening, I go to the polling station with my volunteers, and we set up the voting for tomorrow. None of the machines are open. They're just put into place. Everything's set, and we run tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. We arrive, we open the doors, and we set up, and at 7 a.m. the polls open. And it will be a long line, most likely. I was going to get a bottle of sipping whiskey for the election, but I don't feel I can afford that luxury. We need to focus on the elections, okay? Thank you, Dylan. Mirio is a cool name. Mirio, okay? Colonel Rizzler's back. Hey, Captain Kirk, James Kirk, the name was a Scottish man. His son Robert Kirk wrote a book, The Secret Commonwealth, about Scottish mythology. Okay, I was going to get a bottle of sipping whiskey for the election, but I don't feel I can afford that luxury. Yeah, exactly. How's it going in Wisconsin? Well, let's take a look at Real Clear Politics, folks. Why don't we do that? Let's go to Real Clear Politics and see. That's one of the most objective sites out there, Real Clear Politics, because we can look at hundreds of polls. Trump is a better choice than Harris. The case against Trump is clear. Why Trump will win a close race. Dems think they can make inroads in rural Pennsylvania. See, both sides of the story. All right, let's go to Real Clear Politics. Zoom in here a little bit so you can actually see. So we go one more. All right. Okay, maybe I can go a little bit higher. So, all right, I don't know if you'll be able to see this very well. On the right-hand side, it's a little hard to see. Let me try to go a little bit higher if it'll go higher. And we need to go this way. There we go. Well, maybe, let's see if I can go one more. Okay, that's as far as I can go before it stays on the screen. Okay, so here we have the Real Clear Politics has Trump and Harris tied at 48.5% of the vote. Oh, stop that. Come back to the president. All right, top battleground states, they have Trump ahead 48.5 to 47.7, almost a full point. Real Clear Politics betting average has Trump winning by 14 points, 13 points. That's not going to happen. All right, so they say electoral map, Trump has 219, Harris 211 with 108 toss-ups. In the battleground states, Trump has Ohio by 7 points, Nevada by 1, Texas by 7, New Hampshire says Harris is up, Virginia's up, Trump is up by 3. It's changing here. Georgia, Trump is up, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, all of them Trump is up. All of them. Pennsylvania is the closest one at 0.3%. So there you have it. Let's take a look at the Senate. Trump is up in every one of those battleground states. In Ohio, Moreno's up. Oh, wow. He's now ahead of Sherrod Brown. He's been trailing he's ahead. Michigan, the Democrat. In Pennsylvania, they say Casey's ahead. Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona, the Democrats ahead in all those. In Texas, Cruz is gaining. He's up to 4% now. It was 1%. He is up by 6.5% in Montana. And in Florida, they say likely GOP, and Missouri, likely GOP. So that means that they currently have 50 for the Republicans and 43 for the Dems, with 7 up in the air. Wow, that's a lot of seats up in the air. Imagine if the Republicans won all 7 of those, it'd be 57 to 43. That'd be crazy. They're saying there'll be 3 Republican pickups right now, which would take it from 49 to 52 for the Republican. 52. Yeah. In the House, they're saying Republicans 201, Democrats 192, with 42 toss-ups. Wow, that's crazy. So let's see if we can zoom in on Pennsylvania. Does it work that way? No, it does not. Let's see, House map. There we go. Let's take a look at the map. Okay, here we go. Is there a map here? There's the map. Okay, let's zoom in on that now. This is the members of the House, represents 435 seats out there, and this is what they're saying. The toss-ups are in gray in Pennsylvania right here. Okay, this is, hang on. Why does it not tell me who that is? Oh, there we go. Perry versus Stelton. Polling data has Perry ahead. Now this says Susquehanna pollster has Stelton ahead by 9 points. That's nonsense. How can they have final results? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, that's where I'm at. So let's go to the Senate map. Top battlegrounds. There we go. All right, so this is Real Clear Politics, and they have Trump leading in Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia. So let's go with that. We're going to go with that. We're going to make a new map, okay? Going to make a new map like we've been doing, okay? So with that in mind, let me just go over here, and I'm going to, so I can do this and get it right. Okay, I need this one here. Let me use this. Okay. Okay, so I'll put it over here, and then we're going to bring up the election map that we had before. Okay, there it is. Okay, so here we go. All right, that's the battleground states. So we're going to go through this very quickly. Stick with me, folks. This is going to be fun. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, once again, Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, D.C., New Mexico, Colorado, Minnesota, Illinois, Maine, Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. All right, what have I missed? That's 222 for her. Those are solid Democrat states. Okay, Trump, solid Republican. Okay, we got down to 7, 1, 2. Oh, West Virginia, Kentucky. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one of these is not a battleground state. Which one am I not including here? Iowa. That's Trump. Okay, so we're down to the 7 battleground states. Okay, let's see what Real Clear Politics says. Okay, Real Clear Politics says that Trump is up in Arizona, so we give that to Trump. He's got 231. Real Clear Politics says that Trump is up in Nevada, so we give Trump that one, 237. It says she is barely up in Wisconsin, so we'll give that to her. And she's up in Michigan, so we'll give that to her. Then it says that Trump wins Pennsylvania, Trump wins North Carolina, and Trump wins, that's 272. Georgia puts him at 288. That's what Real Clear Politics has to say, folks. Now, let me give her one of these and one of those, and it's 288 to 247. Look at that. Look at that, folks. There you have it. There you have it. Trump wins. Oh, I didn't give Trump Alaska. Sorry, 291. Thank you. 291. Cameron, California gets electoral votes. I explained this on the Vanet Dutoy broadcast. Hey, Mirio, the meerkat. Well, you want to tell the story here, buddy? I got Alaska. Relax, guys. I got Alaska. Okay, I got Alaska on there. So 291 to 247. That's theirs. I think it's 318, but that's just me. All right, let me explain very quickly once again how this works. The Electoral College works based on representatives in Congress. So for every member of the House of Representatives, you get a vote. For every senator, you get a vote. So each state gets 2 votes. So that's 100 votes out of the gate. District of Columbia doesn't get a senator. They don't have any senators. They do get 3 votes for representatives, though. So that is 100 of the 535 votes. You need 270 to win out of 535. Okay? 100 are senators, 2 from each state. Then the other 435, or 438, are from the House of Representatives and the District of Columbia, which is an anomaly. So that is how you get it. California gets so many because California has a population of 38 million. It's the most populous state in the union. So it gets 2 for the senators, and it gets the other 52 for its population because it has 52 representatives in Congress. That's how it works. Pablo Charlie is convinced that Trump's going to win California, Illinois. Let's take a look at what the polls are telling us. The Real Clear Politics polling average. I want to see. It doesn't give me. I don't want battleground states. It just does battleground states. Let's kind of find California. Harris was briefly up, and now she's trailing again. Yep. All right, so I'm looking for California polls. He's trailing California bad last time I look. All right, let's see. Okay. Says she leads by a wide margin in California. Here's what the final polls are saying. Sacramento B, okay. UC Berkeley, well, that's not a trustworthy source, so we'll skip that. Let's go to the Sacramento B and see what they say. All right, polls show her, and there's Courtney with another super chat. Thank you for that. Yes, that's the Des Moines Register poll, and the Emerson poll says that Trump leads in Iowa by 10 points. So it's an outlier. Both of them are outliers. He leads by 4 or 5 points, and he will win Iowa. Yep, not going to go for Kamala Harris. So the UC Berkeley poll, the one I just mentioned, the Sacramento Bee's reporting, says that she has 57% from likely voters to Trump's 35%. Now, that's well below the 29-point lead that Biden had in 2020. So 57-35. It's 22. It's 7 points lower. So if that's true, let me look at California's results. California election results. Okay. President's election in 2020. Okay. Biden got 11 million votes in California. That's bullshit. There's no way. No way that's the case. No way. And Trump got 6 million. Okay. So that's 17 million people out of 54 million people in California voted. Okay. So Trump lost that election by 5 million there. Okay. All right. That's half the total in the country. And of course, he lost famously the popular vote in 2016 entirely by the vote in California. So if that's the case, she's only getting of the 17 million votes, and she's getting, what did I say, 57%? 57% of 17 million. Let's just do the math on that real quick and see how many votes she gets. Okay, 17 million times 0.57 means she's got 9.6 million. Trump got 6 million last time. If Trump gets 6 million again, that means he's only 3.6 million behind, not 5 million. That's a 1.4 million gain, roughly. That's numbers you can't count on. But, he's not going to win California. But I said the gap is going to narrow. It's going to lower the popular vote distance by quite a bit. No, Berkeley is not an East Coast. It's San Francisco area. Can you explain what's going to happen tomorrow in the process? American system would have worked much better in South Africa if it... Yeah, agreed. Groner is the... California last voted Republican in 1988. California is a much different state back. Correct, Courtney. I've said that repeatedly. The last time that a Republican won was George Bush in 1988. The country has been invaded by foreigners, many of whom are illegitimate and illegal, and they've changed the outlook and character of the state dramatically. Well, it makes sense. I thought Texas was the most populous. No, Texas is not the most populous. They only have 42 electoral votes. Let me look at America population, U.S. population by state. U.S. population by state. There we go. By state. Okay. All right. We'll bring it up. Do we have a map, I wonder? No, it's not a map. Just a list. Okay. I don't want AI. Just tell me. Ranked by population. Okay. Let's see how this says. Okay. All right, here we go. I said California had 38 million. Now this is 2023, the 2020 estimate. So California's population has declined, but here we go. Going to be a little hard for you to see, so I'll zoom a little bit. Okay. Thank you, Courtney, for the super chat. Okay, now you can read that. Okay, so we'll go with that. Okay, so we'll start at the top. State, and this is on Wikipedia, but it comes from U.S. Census Services. Well, okay, so that's, hang on a second there. That's not what I wanted. Shoot, that went away. Darn it, that went away. Who was that? Zaida October subscribed. Thank you for that. Courtney, thank you for the $1.99. UC Berkeley is the best college rugby team ever. Go Bears. Yeah, I closed the wrong thing. I didn't want to close it. Where did it go? Come on. Alert box. There we go. Okay, so it's back. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. California, the estimated population. Now, it's based off of 2020, so let's go with that. It says 39.5 million. Texas with 29 million is the second largest. Florida at 21 million. Then New York comes in at 20 million. Pennsylvania is the fifth largest state in the country with 13 million. Illinois with 12 million, 12.8. Ohio with 11.8. Georgia with 10.7. North Carolina with 10.4. So we have 10 states with over 10 million population. Then New Jersey at 9.2, Virginia at 8.6, Washington State at 7.7, Arizona, Tennessee, Indiana. It keeps going on down. So we get down here. Puerto Rico has 3.2 million. It's not a state. Keep going. West Virginia has 1.7 million people. And then we get down to the states with less than a million people. Delaware, South Dakota, North Dakota, Alaska, Vermont, Wyoming has just 576,000 people. The rest of these are territories: District of Columbia, Guam, U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa, and Northern Marianas. So there you go. Smallest state in the country is Wyoming with 576,000. Yep. Anyway, so there you go. There you go. That's the breakout. So California is the largest state and will be for some time. It's not going to change anytime soon. Whoops, buddy, Mario, what you doing falling over there? You had a little too much of that Amarula. Okay. All right, so there you have it, folks. There's the breakdown. That's what it's all about. Right. 65 people currently here. Just goes to show, Chris Wyatt, if you had got all those not interested in voting for you to vote, you could have been president. Okay, sure. Kamala really wanted to win. She would have chosen Shapiro. Yep, exactly, Courtney. I agree. Josh Shapiro would have been a better choice, and I was terrified she would pick him because people were dumb enough to vote for him. He's a criminal. The man doesn't follow the rule of law. He avoids the rule of law. So, yeah. Yep, Delaware is a tax haven within the U.S. Correct, it is. For corporations, it's a tax haven. That's correct. Corporate tax haven, you hit it spot on, Pablo Charlie. All right, folks, I don't mean to be rude, but I did promise a night owls. I have got to get going. I've got a lot to do. We've got to prep the polling station, and then I got to come back, and I got to put some stuff together, get my clothing together for tomorrow. I'm not required to. Most people wear blue jeans or Dockers and a polo shirt for the election, but I wear a suit. I wear trousers and a tie and a jacket, so I got to pick out what I'm going to wear tomorrow because I like to look professional at the polling station. So that's just me. It's not required. And I have to get up at 5, shower very quickly, dress, and out the door. So a lot of stuff I need will have to be loaded up and ready to go by the door. How do Native Americans tend to vote? And are they a big enough minority to sway an election? They can sway an election in Arizona, maybe in South Dakota, but that's about it. They're not a big enough portion of the population to change much anywhere else. They are 1% of the population, and they tend to vote Democrat, but a lot of them are angry, and they're voting for Trump. I've reported on that story from Navajo Reservation and other places, the Cherokees, North Carolina, the Navajo in Arizona are angry, and they're voting Trump. Okay, try to stay tuned tomorrow evening to watch your show. Yeah, Courtney, I'll be exhausted, though, so please bear with me if I'm not on the top of my game because I will have worked for 17 hours straight and then come back here and broadcast for you all. And I'll be learning as you're learning, just as it comes up. But I'll be offering analysis as I see it. Yeah, so Courtney, that works really well for you out there in the mountain time zone. So it'll be nearly midnight for me, so quarter to midnight, quarter to 10 for you. So you get a couple hours. It'll be good. All right, got to go, folks. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Mario, say goodbye, folks. Mario the meerkat says goodbye. Mario. Cheers. Not Peanuts the squirrel. Peanut the squirrel. All right, folks, thanks. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Be sure to hit the like button. Watch my other videos if you don't mind. Go Army, Courtney. And Courtney, thank you for the job that you've done as a postal worker, delivering ballots and collecting ballots and delivering the mail in this important election season. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. And all your fellow postal workers who've got their hands full, along with all of us election workers. But our work ends much quicker than yours does. Cheers. Bye-bye.